To look out over the expansive production floor at Valtronic, you'd assume some industrial-sized manufacturing must be going on here, but it's quite the opposite. The components these employees are working with are as small as a grain of pepper.
Most of the work that you'll see that's done by hand is done through a microscope, almost like a surgeon would be. So you'll see as we go around the floor that they actually work under a microscope, and it requires very good dexterity and hand motor skills.
Valtronic is a 30-year-old contract manufacturer that produces products for clients who then sell them to the end user. Most of those clients are in the medical field. In fact, Valtronic is one of the major manufacturers of cochlear implants.
Valtronic helped develop one of the first completely in the canal hearing aids, and that's how we got into the hearing market. And that required a lot of specialized miniaturization manufacturing techniques.
While 75% of Valtronic's business is in the medical field, the company also makes industrial and aerospace components, with clients including Boston Scientific, Advanced Bionics, Crane Aerospace, and Motorola.
So our clients will come to us and they'll say, hey, I've got this idea for a watch that measures blood pressure. And here's my kind of a drawing for it, and here's maybe something I've breadboarded that's this size, and they want to put into a watch. It's our job to help figure out, how do we do that? How do we make the device so small? What technologies do we use? And so we help our clients figure that out so that they have a marketable product at the end of the day, which is good for us because then we get to make it.
Valtronic is headquartered in Switzerland with a facility in Morocco as well. Global revenues total in excess of $50 million. The Solon plant employs 120 people who work across 2 shifts.
A lot of them have technical degrees, certificates from technical institutes, or many years of experience in electronic assembly.
A unique aspect of the production floor is that it is one of the cleanest you'll come across. Because static electricity can damage microelectronics, it has an anti-static floor with special conductive chairs. Onek explains why cell phones aren't allowed.
Just the cell phone signal going out or coming in, sending a text or an email can actually affect that test equipment, and it can make a good product, look bad, or a bad product look good.
There are also 2 special clean rooms where wires a third of the size of a human hair are used to make the electronic circuit connections.
You can't have dust or hair, so you'll notice that people have what we call the bunny suits. They cover their hair and their face and their clothing to keep any kind of debris off.
On this day, several groups are touring the facility. In one room, visitors look through a magnifying glass at tiny electronics that will be put onto a contact lens to measure intraocular pressure.
They make all these amazing tiny circuits that go into implantable devices that would go into the body, or wearable electronics that go on the body.
These little parts that you look on in here, you can see their size. They look like little specks on that tape and reel. So the machine actually takes them off and places them on the PC board.
And while there are a lot of contract manufacturers out there that make electronic products, Valtronic stands large among them because what they do is so small.
When you get down to making the stuff that we do that are really small flex circuits, really tiny components the size of a grain of pepper, and actually place those reliably, when you get to that size, the field goes from hundreds down to a few in the world.